What's up, Couyons? We back to do another review. Today we're going to do Barrell Dovetail. This is whiskey finished in rum, port, Dun Vineyard Cabernet barrels. 122.54 proof, 61.27.
A little high proofer.
It is.
Good thing is, coming in, at first I thought it was a bourbon, but no, it's just a whiskey.
Do you want a Glencairn?
Yeah, I'll take a Glencairn. It's probably, I would say it's probably, if I had to guess, it's got some color to it. I don't know if it's natural color or anything, but they don't really tell you a whole bunch about the grains that she used. You know what I mean? Just says a marriage of whiskey with some wine finishes and rum, port, and Cabernet. So, ought to be interesting. I'd seen this for a while in the stores here and there. Never really pulled the trigger on it, but yeah, I mean, I've always been interested in it, just see what flavors come out of. So
yeah, I passed it up for a long time. I thought my wife would like it. Picked up the Seagrass one a long time ago. We did a review on it, and really was a big fan of it. It comes down to this, we just passed it up for so long because it's roughly $90 generally, so it's not a cheap one. But let's get it poured up.
Yep. Just coming in from Arkansas, come and visit everybody, you know, and it's a good day for it. I mean, because LSU's about to whoop them freaking Razorbacks tonight.
Can't be in Arkansas when LSU whoops on them, man.
No. Oh, I said, look, I'm an SEC fan. I don't mind rooting for the Razorbacks, but not when they play in the Tigers. So,
all right,
it's kind of a lighter tint to this one, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like compared to like a bourbon, it's got a little light tint to it.
I think that might be, because it's so many different things, so many different bottles being put together and then aged different. I don't know if it's aged very long.
Yeah, they don't tell you an age on it either, huh?
No, and being that it's a bunch of different things.
Well, it does say distilled in Indiana and Tennessee. So you got some MGP in there because it's barrel, obviously. And then they do a little Tennessee whiskey, so it's probably like a corn product, I'm sure, coming from Tennessee and Indiana, unless they threw a rye in there. They don't tell you about what grains it is. It just says whiskey. So.
You definitely get a little bit of rye on the nose.
I'll be honest with you. The nose is flat. Like,
yeah.
You're not getting, like, what I would think of whenever we had read, like, rum, port, Cabernet, I'm thinking some red fruits. You know what I mean? But that's off the top of my head, knowing what comes from there. And then the sweetness of the sugar cane of a rum.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been waiting to review this bottle for a while, mainly because you're better at the notes and all the little finesse details, I guess.
I don't know, man. Like, the nose falls flat.
I've been having a hard time with this bottle, mainly because I feel like there should be so much more to it, and to me, it's not. So yeah,
I don't get much from it. You get a little alcohol tinge.
That's the thing, though. This is 122 proof. You get a little bit of alcohol, not a lot.
There's a hint of a sweetness, probably from, like, I don't know, maybe almost like a sugarcane rum.
I get the grassy rye notes a little bit, and then after that, it's just
a little bit
the sweetness right there.
You're not getting much on the nose. That's a very simple nose.
I think the sweetness might come from the wine barrels that they use.
Yeah, just like you don't get, like, it doesn't pinpoint like a certain grain though. It's just a generic grain sweetness.
There's a few little things going on, but none of them are very predominant.
Right.
And then that's always with this whiskey so far. Like I said the other day, I find it just lacks character. Definitely on the nose, and I believe on the taste and finish. All right.
I mean, I wish I could say more stuff about the nose of it. There's really nothing there. It's a light alcohol. Like you could tell it's got a little proof to it, but it doesn't like show out. You know what I mean?
This bottle's been open for a while too. It's had plenty of time to open up, It's been open for roughly 2 months now.
I get a little grassy note like you were talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of like a grassy rye.
No spice whatsoever though. Like there's no spice in it. A little bit of a grassy note, and then a very hint of sweetness. Like I would think would come from the rum, being it's rum's like the grain of rum is sugarcane, but very hint of sweetness, and that's it.
Yeah,
It's
like I
really
said,
not a
I
whole
think
much
that
to
comes
it.
from the wine barrels that they use.
Maybe so.
You ever try it?
Yep, it's good. That's the rum.
Yeah, you get the sweetness, you get the little bit of bite from the alcohol. Still, for being a 122 proof, you'd expect more. So good for them on that.
The flavor's a lot better than the nose though.
Oh yeah, it has a lot of little flavors. My issue with it is it doesn't have any distinct flavors. Anything that really pops out, any real character.
I got, to me, like mid palate, straight like vanilla rum. Like you get the vanilla and caramel from the rum. Let me get another nose on it.
My thing with this whiskey is like, okay, if I gave it to you blind, could you potentially guess what it is?
I mean, it's just a generic whiskey kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, dude, the rum really comes out, to be honest with you. Like, you could tell it's finished in rum. Because I remember the Ronald Zalco we had, and that's kind of like our favorite rum. Very rummy. It's got all the rum notes to it. You get almost the banana, not coconut, but banana caramel spices, all the Caribbean spices. You get that in this mid-palate. The first flavor is sweet, but then that rum note comes out mid-palate.
Like right off the bat, to me, it's like a vanilla caramel rum, and then you get that little bit of grassy wryness out of it.
Yeah, it may be. It just says whiskey finish in the wine barrels, but I think it's a lot of rye to it.
Yeah, vanilla, caramel, rum. You get that grassy, that raw, and that's kind of what's going into the finish, and you get that little bit of alcohol burn that just kind of stays there. So I mean, it's nice, it's well balanced, but it, like I said, it lacks character.
As far as the wine notes, Cabernet port, definitely don't get that. Like I don't get the port at all. First thing I think of port, so Quinta Rubin, Glenmorangie. Reuben port, right? That's all you get is red fruit from it. Like fresh red fruits, like popping berries. Like this doesn't have it. A lot of rum finish though. Like that's what I taste mostly is vanilla rum. And then that comes in the finish, and the finish lasts a little bit. It's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But
I think it's a very drinkable whiskey. I do like it. My issue with it is it's $90. And at $90, this is something that doesn't really impress me very much. It's something that I would think would be a great mixer to, put in an old fashioned or whatever,
Yeah.
But I don't, not putting $90 bourbon in or whiskey.
It's crazy how the nose has nothing going on, but the taste, it's a little something. Like
There's a lot of little notes there, but nothing's really pops out. Not a lot of character. All right, you ready to score it?
I'd go. I'd say 5.5 on it, 5.5.
That's exactly where I was
I
going.
would probably not. I would pick it up again.
Not for 90. Look, if this was a $35, $45 bottle of whiskey,
Yeah, it'd be good.
I would, I'd maybe go a little bit higher on it. Really, the price of this is what's bringing it down a lot. But there's plenty other bottles out there that are better
Proofing's
than
good.
this.
It surprised the hell out of me. Like right when you taste it, like this, like you can almost the alcohol kind of. It's a dry whiskey. Like the alcohol kind of like dries your tongue out immediately. It's weird, and then you start getting the rum flavor and stuff.
Yeah.
But
this was the point I was trying to make with the Iron Root video I did last week. Is, I mean, that one don't have as many notes, but the notes it has pops out. It has a lot more character, a lot more vibrance to it. Really enjoyable whiskey to drink. This is, I said, it's good.
I wonder
but it's
if you
boring.
would add water too, if some of those flavors would start coming out, being high proof
Actually,
like that.
I tried it the other day, and it did bring some of the fruitiness out.
Okay.
If you want to
because it's like being it's so high proof. You know what I mean? Kind of down to the end over here, but I ain't gonna put much in it. Yeah, whiskey, like, sometimes, like, the lower your whiskey is, the more flavors you're going to get because that alcohol kind of drowns it out.
Dude, right off the bat, chocolate.
It's definitely sweet. I think that rum brings some stuff out from it.
Chocolate, real strong right off the bat, just with a little bit of water and swirl.
But yeah, these little barrel bottles, they make a lot of different things. Like, even that Infinite, you ever heard that one?
Infinity one? Yeah.
That looks like it would be this Infinite barrel. It's kind of sparked my attention. It's the same thing. It's a barrel strength, high proof whiskey.
I like the Seagrass, and I like the bourbon one you had a while back. That was great.
Oh yeah, the cask strength bourbon they make. That's really good. They do a good bourbon, and they do good rye. You know what I mean? But I like that they experiment. I don't want to like knock them for like making stuff that's not like mainstream. Yeah. Like it's just whiskey finishing some stuff. You're like, oh, this might be interesting, but it's not as good as some of the other stuff they have for sure.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of their premier line items, but for $90, I think they ought to drop the price down to at least $60. I know it's MGP, so it's expensive, but
a lot more flavors with the water. It almost tastes like straight rum though. It brings the rum flavors out. You know what I mean? To me,
I get chocolate on the nose, but
oh yeah,
I don't know. The rum did taste a lot stronger on the sip right there, but the caramel and maybe even some cherry there.
Definitely one. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I had a bottle, like the rest of that, I'd add water to it when I drank it. It's a lot more interesting with the water, to be honest with you. You get a lot more notes to it. At least the notes come out more. I think that alcohol content of like what it is, 122 proof, might be drowning some of the flavors out. But it's all right. With water, I'd give it maybe a 5.75.
Yeah.
Without water, 5.5. It gets another notch up with the water. It's a little bit better.
Yeah,
but
somewhere between a 5.5 and a 6. 6 being the high end of that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't even know if I'd go 6, but 5.5, 5.75. It's good. I mean, it's decent,
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's not our cup of tea, but it that's why I wanted to wait for you to review it with me because I knew mine was not probably going to go well.
You thought you'd have downplayed the whiskey itself, like, oh man, this is terrible as shit. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
There's other bottles to get, but close it out.
Yeah, man. That's about all I could say about that old Barrell Dovetail.
Thanks for watching. Go LSU. Check y'all out on the next video. Like, subscribe, and see y'all later.